children outside, but this is the sad reality. See, we listen to we book the meeting. Now they say they can't see us, they only want to see one person. And who one person or one, they are not answering me. Why they even took it to make it a COVID isolation.
It's now a COVID isolation center.
Yeah, we were using the cardiac unit as a COVID isolation.
There were no children that were admitted there.
For our cardiac patients, we've got our kids, but they're being put in different wards, of which they are not conducive to them.
Okay.
They are not conducive to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen our cardiac unit.
No, not yet.
We can go and then you can have a look. So, I don't know, maybe you will be lucky with answers. Maybe you can be the voice that we are failing to get, the attention that we are failing to get.
Okay. When did they start? When did they start admitting
the COVID patients? I think it's almost been a month now. While they've been using that place.
Okay.
And we weren't informed.
Okay.
They didn't ask us, but the binding contract states that it's strictly cardiac patients.
Patients, okay.
Yeah, so this is our concern. We're not fighting, but we just want the rights of our children. Yeah, so I don't know if you can raise that up when you interview with the director. So I think the parents can also share on that regarding our medications.
Okay.
We've got medications that were donated in 2019 for the community. They came all the way from the USA. They were freely to be given to our patients, but apparently these medications expired. You know, our parents, they would come, some of them, asking for the medication, and they'll be told there's no medication. You know, they have to buy. Yet already it's like costing something like 50 US per month for this medication. And we are saying we donated medication and it's allowed to expire at the expense of our children who need anti-heart failure medication. So for us, it's not right. We are in the middle of fighting for cardiacs to be in the national health strategy, for their rights to be even in the in the Bill of Rights for children. So if efforts are being done on grassroots with us as parents for our voices to be heard, and then we're being shot in the foot, it's like a death sentence for our children. And as it is right now, we're told kids have to go to India, kids have to go overseas, but here we are trying to equip Mpilo Hospital. Here we are trying to make a cardiac unit, you know, so that doctors can actually come and visit and screen our kids from our local centers instead of going overseas. And then this is what's being done to us. Honestly, it's heartbreaking, to say the least.
Do you have the quantities of this medication that was donated?
I've got the quantities, but some of the parents managed to access it. But now for the expired one, we're actually going to go to the ward right now and try and count how much of it has expired. Because for us, you know, the need in our community and for us to be told who expired, it doesn't make sense to us. So I don't know how they can explain to us how the medication expired. Yeah.
And so they were still made to pay for it. Some of the parents.
The parents would be told to go and buy. So it's not.
But
like
the medication was there.
The medication was here. So now we don't know what that was all about. Yeah. So I don't know. You were there from the beginning of us trying to initiate and make noise for this. Right now we've actually petitioned Parliament for it to look into these rights of children, for even the commemoration of cardiac diseases to be in the national calendar, because it's not there. So, you know, with all these efforts, and for us to have the cardiac unit, it wasn't just brave little hearts as parents, but it was the communities in Bulawayo. Master came on board, G's came on board. All these people came to support that because they understood what we're going through. So for them to turn around, it's an insult to all those communities who are trying to make us equip that place. So now how do we go back to those very same communities? If it's temporary, fair and fine, but they should have told us, consulted us, asked us, can we use your cardiac unit? Because we signed the contract with them.
I did. I didn't look at what. And then complain. Cardiac patient sometimes I have oxygen.
Really?
And when I catch out of flu many times. so many times, but you want to come. And we'll be like, discharge needs we have it. Week already. But sehlangana nabanye abaphehlela benzani. And then day kusungi that cardiac what it was is COVID. Now I told you that first symptom. Umntana wami oxygen. Ngifake ku-orange. Anzange ngifake uwadila. Ngakuzwa later on uthawule wadipha. Ikhona ngikole nami evaccines but ngisikhathi ngathi ngitshela umntwana 3 months. And then for investigation angazi lokhu umntana wabanjwa i-problem from I think only 3 weeks from there. Below until I've been buying.
So we
because TB medication yethu had a 2-year lifespan from 2019. Right, 2019, 2020. So is it because you failed to give our patients? We don't know what really transpired because everyone is prioritizing COVID, but at the expense of our children. Everyone is facing COVID. Tina, in the midst of COVID, we stood up and said our kids are dying. We need a cardiac unit. We need medication. But so for people to tell us what I COVID, the corona, COVID has been there, guys, and our kids have been there. So it will even get even to the 6th wave, but still we can't sacrifice our children. People need to also prioritize kids with chronic diseases and heart diseases.
When did you hear that these medications expired?
When was my last visit here? My last visit, I think, was it just before you guys went to Mutoko. When did you guys go to Mutoko? June 6th. June 6th. I think I came 3 weeks before. That's when they told me that I medication and this. Until I was very good, and I was using medication. Suppose we didn't get medication. Medication visit was from 2019. So I said, suppose we didn't get medication visit. I said, I'm going to PNO, especially. So it's like you're sent up and down. And like I'm saying, we're not fighting. We just want our kids to access the same health equity as other children. We just want cardiac issues to be prioritized in Zimbabwe. Their rights to be exercised, not for them to go overseas, not for them to look for specialists overseas, but for them to get the specialist care they need here. We've got the pediatric cardiologist, Lapu, Dr. Shum. She's the one caring for these people. She can best explain to them they don't need, they need a specific place where they can be treated, which is fully equipped. These are the medical doctors. We are just mere parents with no medical background, right, who are standing up. So if they themselves, who should be speaking out for us, who should be supporting cardiac children, because as you can see, he's sleeping, he looks fine, but the heart is a critical issue. We are failing to secure funds right now for these kids to go overseas. So I don't know. I don't know. So maybe you can try and speak to them and... We also got Masker helped with the electricals, the furnishing, cost almost about and even in the kitchens, I think it was about 5,000 altogether for repairs and all that. And we got blankets. And they said they would provide the hospital itself because the pots were already there. So we're now at the stage where we're acquiring cardiac monitors because they say the kids need those monitors. So we have done that on our part as parents. We got the donation from Dr. Novich, the same doctor who donated medication. He donated cardiac monitors. They're still being tried to be cleared from Harare. So the cardiac monitors are now here because we said we want to equip our bay and we are playing our part. But now, where do we put the cardiac monitors? Of course, as we have seen, they've removed the signage with the COVID isolation. It's been a COVID isolation for the past 2 months, and they've removed the bedding and all that. But for them to say, all right, you saw the kids themselves, they're being put in different wards. And one normal day, my windows are they're not allowed to close windows. But our kids, they can't stay in open windows because that's why we put an aircon there, which has a heater function, which can warm up these kids. So now that they are saying they don't know when they'll get back to us, we also don't know, what's the way forward for our children. You saw Alpha's condition. It's not a condition that we can say it doesn't matter, they'll sort it out. It can be any of these mothers. It can be yourself with a relative with cardiac disease. And we opened, this was not only officially opened by Mpilo, but the Deputy Minister himself, they wrote a speech on the commemoration day. If you were there, I think there's a speech that was read on his behalf. It was a national project. So for a national project to be turned around just like that, it's not right. Someone has to answer. Someone has to give answers. Even if they tell us, but I know, we are sorry, we're giving you your baby, or you're not allowed here, we're taking it back. Let it be official. Because here in the contract, it says you can tell us through writing, or you call us and you communicate to us that we're now taking the word that you sourced resources for by yourselves. We're taking it to be COVID. But they've got a COVID up there. And they're saying the issue that they used our word was because there was no toilet. I mean, seriously. Why didn't they say the toilet is not functioning and they get city council or someone or even appeal to people that the COVID toilet is not working than endangering our kids? It's not a good enough justification. They can't resist the diarrhea. They can't. And they've another medical experts themselves who treat these children no better.